Welcome, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another video. I hope you guys are feeling good. I'm glad to be back with another video. In today's video, I'll be giving you some Chelsea news. I'll be telling you my expectations for the game tomorrow. We'll be facing Wolves. Now, a bit of developments in terms of who will be our next owner. Thomas Tuchel has confirmed that our new owner has been selected. So that's some good news. I mean, finally. So I'll be telling you my predicted starting 11 and of course my score prediction. So if you're interested in the content and you're new and you like what you see, please consider subscribing. Turn on the post notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a video. Like the video too, really helps me a lot. So let's jump right into it. In terms of some Chelsea news now, Thomas Tuchel had his press conference and of course he had some tea for us. I feel like he cleared out a few things. Now, in terms of a new owner, he confirmed that last week he had been updated about who will be our next owner. He's feeling pretty confident about it. He's feeling positive about it. He does not want to put too much of his head in the ownership business. He's more focused on the team, as it should be. And I feel like this is good. I mean, Thomas Tuchel just giving us that go ahead just gives us a bit of that relief, and we're able to just move forward a bit better. I mean, in terms of also the mentality of the players, I feel like it will help because due to the whole sanction thing, we have lost some of our players. Most of our players are looking to leave, but they can't. Some of our players are coming back. So in terms of who is out, now he mentioned that N'Golo Kante is out, Ben Chilwell is out, as usual, Ben Chilwell is out, Jorginho is out, and Callum Hudson-Odoi, despite him going back to training, he was photographed earlier this week going to training. Despite him going back to training, he's still out. So those are the players who are out. So in terms of our midfield, we might be a bit exposed, but I'm happy that Kovacic will still be there. So Kovacic's experience with his mentality, with Kovacic in the midfield, I feel a bit confident, but not too confident. Wolves are still strong. They're currently ranked 8th, and although they've just won 3 of their last 10 games, I feel like, yes, they're just coming from 3 losses, but the last time I underestimated a team that just came back from losses, it ended up in absolute tears. So after our last game against Everton, a very embarrassing game, a 1-0 loss, we need to come back. We need at least 2 games, 6 points in order to maintain our top 3, and we are struggling at that point. So we need to do something about it. Arsenal is trailing us with just 3 points. Although we have the same number of games, we need to do something. There's only 4 games remaining and it's looking tricky. As I said, I do not want us to depend on other teams losing or other teams winning for us to qualify for the Champions League for next season. I mean, we're already done with it, but we should be able to control our fate. So in terms of the game tomorrow, I have high expectations. I expect a fight from Wolves. Now, in terms of Wolves, their manager Bruno Lage is out. Unfortunately, will not be traveling to Stamford Bridge due to the fact that he has COVID, and I wish him speedy recovery. But in terms of the game tomorrow, it's going to be a rivalry. Our last game was a draw. We ended up in a draw, and that's when we started losing the top title. I mean, we were leading at one point, but that was when we started going down, and Man City just took over. Gapped us, gave us a gap of 6 points, and that's how we lost the top 2 race, top 1 race. It is what it is, but we move on. In terms of players, some transfer news I thought I should mention. In terms of Emerson has no choice but to come back to Chelsea. I mean, the player, of course, went on loan, but he mentioned that he wanted to possibly leave Chelsea. He has been linked with the likes of Juventus, but due to the fact that we cannot be able to make any negotiations, any signings, it just had to stop there. So in terms of Emerson, he'll be coming back to Chelsea. In terms of Marcos Alonso, apparently he's looking to make a move over the summer, and he has been in contact with Barcelona's coach Xavi, and nothing can be done, as you know, because of the fact that we are sanctioned, we don't have an owner, we don't have a license to do the to the license and the whole saga. Yeah, but it is what it is. So many players are looking to leave. Of course, Rudiger has already left. Thomas Tuchel mentioned that this has affected the squad immensely. Rudiger is a very influential figure in the team. He's a leader, shithousery, everything that comes with him. But it is what it is. He leaves. In terms of Christian Pulisic, but that is in terms of the latest Chelsea news. Now, in terms of the game tomorrow, who will I be expecting to start? Now, of course, our our defender Azpilicueta made a silly mistake. Mistakes happen, but I feel like Azpilicueta is just, I don't know, he just switched up, and I don't know whether I'm just the only one seeing it, but towards the end of the season, he's really not been his best. From the angry rants to the fans, to him making the mistake in Everton. But in terms of Aspi, I don't feel it's his best game. It's not his best time as the captain. There's a lot of pressure, you know, with the sanctions and everything. I would understand, but I feel like maybe for this game he should be dropped. You might not agree with me, but I feel like he's just not there mentally, physically too. He looks a bit tired. Of course, that's why he made the mistake. And I feel like this game tomorrow, we should give Trevor Chalobah a chance. He had a meeting with Thomas Tuchel and he mentioned the fact that possibly he might be getting a few minutes. So will he finally be getting minutes? I don't know, but let's see what happens. In terms of my starting 11, I'll be having Mendy in goal, 3-4-2-1 will be my formation. Mendy in goal. Then in terms of the back three, I will be having Rudiger, Thiago Silva, and Trevor Chalobah. Now, in terms of Trevor, you might be worried because due to the fact that he's young, but I feel like the fact that Reece James is back, not as he speak, but Reece James will help to cover that right wing area, that right side position. He will be able to cover it, and I feel like Trevor Chalobah should really start. He should be given more minutes. How do you get better if you don't play? So in terms of the midfield, of course, N'Golo Kante and Jorginho are out, but we have to step up with the players we have. So I'll be having at the left wing back Marcos Alonso. Then in terms of the pivot, I'll be having Kovacic and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. It's Kovacic's birthday, by the way. Shout out to Kovacic. So happy birthday to Kovacic, star player. Then in terms, I'll be having Ruben Loftus-Cheek because I feel like he'll have to step up. We can't call Saul at this point. No. Saul was a loan that is a flop, of course. It just didn't work out. So I'll be having Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Then in terms of the right wing, I hope Loftus-Cheek will not make mistakes. I will try to put a little faith in him because sometimes he's just, I don't know what happens to him. It's just, I guess, not into it, or I don't know. But in terms of right wing back, I feel a bit confident having Reece James back. I just wish it was the same with Ben Chilwell on the left wing back side, but we work with what we have. So in terms of the front three, Thomas Tuchel mentioned that Lukaku might possibly start. I mean, we're stuck with him. With the sanctions, with him wanting to leave to go back to Inter, he can't, but we have to make the most of it. Lemons, lemonade. So I'll be having Mason Mount. I feel like Havertz should be dropped for this game. Havertz looks a bit tired. So he has not been playing well, to be honest. Yes, he makes an impact when it comes to the game. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of goals and in terms of finishing, he's definitely better than Lukaku. I mean, Lukaku. I would swap Lukaku for Tammy Abraham at this point, but it's a different story in Roma. It's not as tough as it is in the Premier League, but it's still tough. He is currently the leading goal scorer at Roma, so things are really working out well for Tammy. Regrets? Sometimes, but he had his fair share of mistakes. I mean, he would miss important goals, and I'll be so frustrated with Tammy. So it is what it is. Let it just be as it is. So we work with what we have. Thomas Tuchel mentioned that Lukaku might start tomorrow. Might this be a game trick? Possibly, but I feel like he'll start. Simple, just don't read into it. I just feel like he'll start. So I'll be having Mason Mount, Timo Werner, and up front I'll be having Lukaku. In terms of my score prediction, I don't have high expectations for the game tomorrow. The last time we faced Wolves, they are high pressing team. They do not allow the ball to get in between them too often. They're always defending. So we'll have to step up, we'll have to be creative, we have to work together as a team. The team spirit, the wanting to win, the finishing. I will insist on the finishing till the end of the season. The season is coming to an end anyway. But as it is right now, we just need to gather the 6 points, and these are some of the games that we can possibly do it. Wolves are a strong team. They're currently ranked 8. They'll be looking to get a win. I mean, they have not won. Their last 3 games were losses. They have not won in a long time. So the last time they had a win was in April 2nd to be exact. So they'll be looking to make a point. And after Everton win against us, they'll be like, it's probably a walkover. We'll just walk over them. But we can't allow this. So in terms of my score prediction, I'll be having 1-1 was the score prediction last time. So I will not be putting my expectations too high, so that's, I want to keep my heart intact. I don't want to have high blood pressure and all that. So I'll be having a 2-0, no, or 1-0 is okay for me. 1-0 or 1-1 draw. I see it possibly ending in a draw. We're not at our best, but we work with what we have. It is what it is. that is my preview. If you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing, turn on the post notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a video. Like the video too, really helps me a lot.